I'm Sudarshan Koirala and welcome back to Data Science Basics. In this video, I will be explaining something related to AI ML in Databricks. As you can see, I have been creating many videos in the Databricks Free Edition, and this is video number 15. If you haven't watched the previous videos, I highly recommend you to go through the content so you know all the functionalities that you can do from the Databricks Free Edition. And one thing to mention before continuing to today's video is that I also have this 30 days of Databricks playlist. You can go through there if you find something helpful. Let's go to today's content because many of you mentioned that you want me to create videos in Databricks related to AI agents and all sorts of things. So I decided to create some videos in that perspective. The first video, I want to just show you the playground in Databricks. You can see here inside the AI ML, you can just minimize these other things if you don't want. And here there is AI ML. And first, let's start with the playground so you get the understanding what you can do already in the free edition of Databricks. So I will go in the playground. I will just make this screen bigger. So now you will see the full screen. This is the playground as it is mentioned here. I'll walk you through the UI first. On the left side, there is this configure endpoints. And from here, you can see these parameters control the generation process of the model. Same as in other tools also. Here, you can just on it and then have this temperature just as the drag feature. And also the P and K if you want to know it. If you don't know what this is, I think it's better just to start without this also. But if you hover on top of this I, it will mention okay, the probability threshold used for this nuclear sampling. But for this particular video, I am just showing you that there is the maximum tokens. You can see the maximum number of tokens to generate. Here it is just 5,000 by default, so you can also play around with this. And there is this reasoning effort. What does it mean? The effort level for reasoning, right? You can choose from low, medium, and high. And also if you want to add other parameters, you can add the custom parameters and so on. AI judge, so it is already on by default, which means that you can get assessments from the LLM judges in the Mosaic AI agent evaluation. I'll show you this because it's already there, so it's better just to show you. This is the settings part here. This is the drop down from where you can choose the endpoints. If you create your own endpoint, it will also show here. For example, this agent or this quick start agent, this was the custom agent I created, and I will create a video for that later, how you can do the same. But once you create your own agent also, you can just have that as an endpoint and you can use this agent to ask questions in the playground. You can see there are some models already being provided by Databricks. Although it says here pay per token, we haven't paid anything for this Databricks free edition. And you can see what is the DB used for this. But we can play around with all of these models. So this is the model from OpenAI, which released just a couple of weeks ago. And this is the 20 billion, this is 120 billion parameters. There is Llama 4, Maverick, and there is Gamma 3, 12 billion. You can choose any of the models out here. So I'm just going with, let's go with Gamma 3. And I can say use this endpoint, right? And also here you will get the understanding of what this model is all about. And here tools enable, if I go here, this is also tools enable. You can see that because for the LLMs, sometimes not all the LLMs are good enough for the tool calling, right? So we need to be choosing the right models which allow us to do the tool calling. Here it is mentioned in the brief description, so just to mention that it's the, I will say use endpoint, and now you can see it is being changed to this one. And here in the second one there is the tools, so you can add up to 20 tools for this particular LLM to interact in the playground. You can go here and choose the hosted function. So you can see here there is this function definition, also there is this vector sorts, and there is also the MCP server which is already being shown you. I will go through the MCP servers later. You can see that you can have the external MCP servers, you can have Jenny space and all sorts of things as a tool for the playground already. And the next one here is you can have this apply on data, meaning you can use this LLM on the data, or you can create the agent notebook. You can have this call API for this particular model. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I'll just show you what happens. Like if I go with Python API, you can see this is the Python code that you can use You can import this, and you need to have the Databricks token and then use that anywhere, because this is the base URL and so on. If you want to do with the call command, it's also mentioned here. And these two things, what it does is it will create an agent notebook, meaning that it will use this particular LLM and it will create a notebook where you can run the agent. I will show that in the next video by creating a whole notebook from the Databricks documentation, so you know how to do that and apply on data. You can use this model to have this in the data itself. So I'm also going to create another video for you how you can use the AI functions which are already in Databricks, and you can use that in the free edition of Databricks. That's really good from Databricks, that we can use all sorts of features. Although all the features are not there, we can at least try different functionalities inside Databricks. I hope Databricks will provide additional features for us to try in the free edition. Now you can see this is the prototype and agent. It is showing here add a pre-built tool. As I mentioned you before, you can go here and choose, and there is this Python exec. You can use this to execute Python code. You can add your own tool, as I mentioned before. And here there is start with an example. So function calling, get distance between these. You can already try because these are pre-built prompts. So you can just click and try. But let me first go through the UI, different components of the UI. And there is the summarizations here. So there is this document Q&A, meaning you can be provided with a document and ask a question related to it. This is also good. And this is the evaluation that it was mentioned. AI as a judge, it's already enabled. We will see once we ask some question here, will be already kicked in, and we will see the thing there. And the synthetic question generation, so get question suggestions automatically from the response of that particular data. So we will see that into action. And if you want to add a system prompt by yourself, it's also possible. You can just go here and provide the system prompt by clicking here. Let me click one of these, right? It says here calculate the 15th Fibonacci number, and it is going to use this tool, a pre-built tool. So I will just say try here, and now you can see it is using that particular model, which is this 312 billion, right? It is using this one. I needed to calculate the 15th. This it is thinking here, and here you can see this is the system.ai, and this Python, it is using the Python. You can see there is a function being written. Now it's still thinking. So 2.09 second to first token, so it took that much time for the first token. And it says the output is this, and here it says the 15th 10. This is mentioned here. By just going through this, you can see that the answer is there. You can copy all these things, and also it took 2.09 to the first token plus 24.47 seconds for the final answer. You can view the trace. If I click this view trace, you can see this is the trace. It says here this is the input, this is the output. Just make this bigger. Okay, I need to do this kind of things, and now it went inside here, and here you can see this is the code. You can also go here and see more, and this is the output. And if you go down here, you can see this is the output and so on. Also it is being shown here. There is no linked prompt, so you can see directly there is also a trace being provided here. And this AI judge, which I mentioned as the evaluator, already there, right? So if I see here, it says relevant. So the answer provides information about the calculation of this, including the method used and the final answer. The information is relevant to the question, meaning it shows if it is relevant, right? So if I go here, it says relevant, and you can see this is the answer. You can disable this, and it says click the export button to create an evaluation notebook and so on. So you can do that. Now this is the second one, meaning that based on the question, it suggested some additional questions, and this is in preview. You can see these are all in preview, and it says what does the function return when the input n is less or equals to 0? What is the output when this is 15? It is related to that question. It is not going beyond that. So that is what it says, suggested questions. Okay, one good functionality of the playground is that you can have two or multiple different LLMs side by side, and you can have the same questions. For example, here you can see this is the main UI, right? On the top right here, you can see there is this add endpoint. You can just click this add endpoint, and you can see now you have two different things. You can still go and add multiple, but this is how it looks like. So let me just cancel this one, or you can even remove this endpoint for now. So you can see there are two different UI, or let's say two different LLMs where you can try here. You can choose which model you want to use, and from here you can choose which model you want to use. This is also really good. I can just go here and ask the question, can you provide me Python code to upload data in S3 bucket, right? So you can see that I'm typing here, but it is still also showing here because it is being synced. And if I just type enter here in both places, you can see the response from these two different things. This is from the Gamma 3 12 billion. This is the answer provided. It first provided the code, and then it is now explaining all sorts of things. Here it is still going, and this is already being provided. So it seems that this is quite fast. We can also look from here. So it is 0.41 to first, 0.56 second to the first token. So the first token in the Gamma 3 is fast, but then it took 18.16 second, and then it took 12.63. And how many tokens per second, how many tokens per second, what is the total number of tokens, what is the total number of tokens, and so on. So you can see the output also. This directly went into the example and then explains what to do. Before running, you need to install all these things, okay, AWS configure and so on. And let's go here. So what it does here is it thinks, okay, user ask for this. Sure, here is the code, and their prerequisites is you need to have AWS account, you need to have the IAM S3 permissions, you need to install this, and it also shows you the Python download version where it is, and then you can upload a local file. It provided you the code here and what the code does. Upload in-memory data, it put object in a good format, because this is 1 2 3 4 kind of steps with good formatting and so on here. And at the end, common gotchas and best practices, so it is also showing here the best practice. Last quick one-liner if you just need to pre-signed URL, so it is also shown here. And summary, I'm just showing you all sorts of things that you can do in the playground itself. You get which model is best in certain use cases. You can go into the settings, because the settings are different here. You can have the temperature parameter, all sorts of things for this particular LLM and this particular LLM separately to test which one performs the best. This is what I want to show you in the first video related to AI ML in the Databricks. I hope now you get the point. You can go here, test for free in the playground. That's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you about these AI functions. It's a really good way to learn and use AI functions in Databricks. After that, I will be creating a video about the agent, how you can create the agent and then deploy it so that it appears in the playground tab here. And in the future, based on your questions, suggestions, requests, I'll create more videos related to these stuffs in Databricks Free Edition, because I'm not going to go through the paid version, because then not all of you can go and access through it. But yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you learned something new from this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.